Every accomplished golfer really has great control of their club path through impact. In today's video, I'm here with Abbey Porter. Abbey, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Abbey's a D1 college athlete, one of the top golfers on her team. She's a Trackman in her practice. So in this video, we're going to walk through what Abbey looks for in her swing as she practices to help make sure she's always on top of understanding how to control her path. If you're trying to feel a draw in your swing, kind of talk me through what you're trying to feel in terms of your arms and the shaft position and so on. Like, what are you trying to feel in the takeaway, the transition as you come in? Like, what would be a draw feeling for you?
So for me personally, when I want to hit a draw, I make a good, nice extension with my arms, and I really feel my chest rotate.
Okay.
And then as I'm coming down into the ball, I almost feel like the shaft of the club is coming in a little bit lower. And as you can see, the set of my arm kind of drops right into my body.
Okay.
And then I feel as I come around, I know that the face, I can close my hands as I get to the ball.
Right, so the whole idea of a draw, right, our path, you're coming, or from a Trackman terminology, is positive, or it's to the right. So we need that face angle left, otherwise it's going to be, push cut, which is no good, right? So you feel you need to turn those hands down a little more. Okay, so let's just take the position a little after the top of your swing again. So if I look at your swing from the down the line perspective, kind of your shaft is more like on the lower part of your bicep here. It's like it's not up here, right?
Correct.
So you're feeling the shaft lower after transition. So if you're trying to hit a cut, what would be different in terms of what you feel or where you're trying to be as you hit a cut?
So the difference is, instead of that dropped low like we just talked about, I feel like I come in at a steeper angle, which then allows my hands to come across the ball, which when we look at the Trackman stats, you'll be able to tell that my club path goes from positive to negative, and then my hands almost stay open.
Let's say a little open, right? So if your path is left, you need the face angle turned to the right.
Yes.
So that's the way that you do the cut. And then in terms of distance control, what do you see difference for a given effort level for your draw at like a 90% effort level with a 7-iron or whatever? What do you see differences in terms of your yardages for a draw versus a cut with the same body effort?
I definitely see a big difference. Everyone is different on this, but for me, when I hit a draw, I gain quite a bit of yardage.
Like how much on a 7-iron?
Almost 10 yards of distance.
Okay,
when I really hit a good.
So understanding as you think in terms of placement of the ball, getting it middle of the green or on the green, right? So you give yourself a good putting opportunity, GIR. That distance control matters, and so making sure you understand you're going to hit a draw bias versus a fade bias, 10-yard difference. I mean that's pretty substantial there.
Yes, it is, and it's definitely a shot that you have to commit to. If I know I'm pushing my 7-iron for that extra yardage on a draw, I have to commit to letting my arm come to the inside and closing that face, and just relying on knowing I'm going to hit a good draw.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so right here I'm going to work on that draw shot like we just talked about. I'm really going to let my arm come to the inside and then close the face. And as you can see, we got 11 on the curve, 11 feet to the left. So that was a little baby draw.
Let's look at this draw bias then in a little more detail. So just walk me through what you look for on your video.
All right, so now that I'm in the video portion, when I'm looking for that draw, I kind of manipulate the swing up to the top. And what I'm focusing on here is you can see the path. When I get to the top, the club shaft is right in line with where I put the pink line. Now when I'm starting my downswing, I want to be able to see that club fall below the pink line so that I know it's coming inside the ball, and then it will release to the outside with the closed face.
So you look, we've talked about this in a lot of videos. So this motion right here is clockwise, right? And you, as you go a little steeper to a little shallower. Now what I also look for here is kind of for a draw bias. Notice that shaft right there on the forearm. So if you're hitting a strong cut, that shaft will be a little above the forearm right there at that point in the swing. So two things that I see that are really, this is a nice little baby draw, right? The shaft slightly shallows, and you've kept that elbow in tight to the body, and it's dropped that shaft that it basically matches the forearm. And you can see this was a 2 degrees to the right, the face a couple degrees closed. The ball flight was fantastic, just a slight left curve, really nice shot.
Thank you.
All right, so in summary, as you try to control the path, kind of what key really helps you as you practice in here then?
So the difference for me in here versus being on the range is being able to see the numbers that show up on the screen and understanding what is making the club do that. One of my favorite features that Alta View has is being able to look at the cameras and replay my swing in slow motion, especially for creating different shot paths like we just talked about. A big thing is being able to visualize when I'm out there on the course without all the videos. I know what my swing looks like when I do that, and then I can help create cues that make me hit that same shot over and over again.
So oftentimes feel is not real, it's an oft repeated refrain. So when you combine the cameras and with the numbers, you can say, okay, that feel was really this number. I guess that's the magic of how you leverage your practice here.
Exactly, yes. And a long time ago, I can't remember who told me this, but I was on a range somewhere and I kept feeling like I was doing something different, but then they kept telling me, no, you're doing the exact same thing actually. You just can't see it to know that it's the same swing over and over.